I think this is GuliKit's highest end controller. The KK3 Max has a lot of features that comes packed with a bunch of actually useful accessories, yet at an actually affordable price. I honestly believe that this is so good that it can be a true alternative to the Xbox wireless controller. Despite having a lot of upgrades over the previous generations though, there are still some things about this KK3 Max that just irks me. So here comes the unboxing first. Opening up the box reveals the controller itself in the hardshell case, a separate accessories box, and a pretty long USB-A to USB-C cable alongside the user manual. The hardshell case is pretty good as it functions more than just providing protection. I do believe that the user manual is irreplaceable even though the hardshell case has a few of those features printed on it. We'll get back to this later. There is a hole at the back of the hardshell case so that we can directly plug in a USB-C cable to charge the controller without taking it out of the hardshell case. Nice! Inside the hardshell case though, we have the controller of course, and there are also two more accessories underneath it. There's a 2.4 GHz dongle for PC of course, which I deeply appreciate as I'm not a fan of Bluetooth for gaming on PC, and also a custom tweezer. The KK3 Max itself is in this simple light grey color, has some heft to it, and the overall finish is really nice to touch. The entire layout, look, and feel are very similar to the Xbox controller, and I'm glad that GuliKit did not use the soft touch material like their previous generations anymore, so that's really good. The face buttons are using GuliKit's own second generation tactile buttons that make it super clicky and responsive, which is a major upgrade over the first generation as well. Then of course we also have Hall effect joysticks and triggers as they are super long lasting and smooth at the same time. I gotta say the joysticks are the absolute smoothest that I've used on any controller so far. Oh, there is also RGB rings on the joysticks itself. Yes, they light up and we do have a few different RGB modes to choose from. I personally though will just turn them off. The D-pad is actually working fine for me and I don't really play that many games that require D-pad so much, so yeah, that's just how I use the controller. You can also swap the D-pad between octa-directional and also quad-directional as well, so it really depends on how you want to use it. At the back of the controller, we have these two little push switches that changes the trigger from an analog trigger to a tactile trigger switch. It still has a bit of leeway in the tactile trigger mode, but it works really well for games that require quick press and release like shooter games. There are also 4 rectangles that are labeled from G1 to G4, and now we'll just jump ahead and talk about the other accessory box. In here we have 6 pedals. Of course, this is the most logical way to install those pedals on the KK3 Max, but those 2 short stubs can also be installed at G1 and G3 as well if you don't like the long pedals. Again, it really depends on how you want to use the controllers. To install the pedals, just angle them as shown here and then push it in. They will fit in snugly, though a bit scary if you're doing it for the first time because they do require quite a lot of force to be pushed in. Then the other accessory in this box is the ABXY faceplates. You see, the KK3 Max controller uses the Nintendo Switch layout out of the box. The AB and XY buttons are in inverse positions when compared to the Xbox layout. So this is why we have the tweezer found in the hardshell case, where we can crimp out the faceplates and then swap them out for the Xbox layout. It's just that easy. Of course, we also have to press this button combo to change it between the Xbox layout at the software level as well, and then we're good to go. Speaking of that though, the user manual highlights a bunch of different features found in the GuliKit KK3 Max, and I will just highlight a few of them here. Firstly, we have the APG, which is GuliKit's own macro recording and playback feature. It's practically the company's staple feature and it is present in most Pro variants of the controllers offered by GuliKit. Secondly, the KK3 Max is using GuliKit's maglev vibration motors. It's super tight and strong and there are 3 different modes and 4 strength levels to select from. I've tried them all and I would just have to say go with whatever that you feel is best for you. For me, the default is already plenty good, so I'll stick with that. Thirdly, the continuous fire functionality is great as it can spam the button for us automatically. It can be a makeshift skip button in games like Genshin Impact, and it actually works really well. Now, there are a few quirks about this controller though. Looking at the top, it's still using the old way to switch between different modes. I'm really not a fan of this because it's slow and clunky to cycle through all of the modes. And yeah, I just think that the new GuliKit Elves 2 series of controllers, which you can watch at the top right corner there, has a better way to switch between different connections. I also want you to take a good look at the GuliKit KK3 Max now. We have those back pedals installed, but for whatever reason, I cannot put it back into the case. Why? I have to remove all of the pedals before I can put it back into the hardshell case, and I find it to be super annoying. And also, all of the accessories seem to be separated by putting half of them into one box and then another half into another box. Case in point, the tweezers to take out the face buttons is located underneath the controller in the hardshell case, but the replacement face buttons is somehow located in another accessory box. Those pedals, however, are not packed with the controller's hardshell case. It would have made more sense if the pedals are packed together with the hardshell case, and also I should be able to close the entire case with those pedals installed on the controller. Yeah, but those are the only complaints that I have about the GuliKit KK3 Max. It looks good, it feels good to use, and I just play a lot of games on this controller for the past month or so, I would say. Be it on PC or phone or Nintendo Switch 2, it just feels amazing to use. Oh, the KK3 Max can't wake the Switch 2 remotely, by the way, so you have to keep that in mind as well. The GuliKit KK3 Max can be yours for the price of $80 US, but I can find some at a lower price apparently, so if you can find a better deal, go for it. Do let me know what are your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below about the GuliKit KK3 Max. Do you love it or do you not? Let me know down in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.